My name is Isabella Johnson, and I will be presenting sleep hygiene, the ins and outs of a good night's rest. Let's start by defining sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene refers to modifiable behaviors and environmental adjustments that can be manipulated to promote sleep quality and sleep duration. Although sleep hygiene is a commonly used term in research, there's no actual clear consensus as to what factors constitute sleep hygiene. So before we talk about what factors constitute good sleep hygiene, we need to talk about the importance of sleep itself. Chronic poor sleep is correlated with the following adverse effects: poor mental health, poor immune system, poor cardiac health, weight gain, a lower GPA, and a decrease in athletic performance. So the effects of poor sleep is seen throughout the entire body. The consequences span across categories including metabolic, cardiovascular, immune system, as well as neurological and psychological states. Sleep allows the brain to rid itself of metabolic waste, so a lack of sleep results in a buildup of these metabolic wastes. This aids in the development of metabolic issues, including an increased risk for diabetes. There is also an impairment of growth hormone and muscle repair, which will lead to that decrease in athletic performance, and hunger hormone imbalances, which could lead to an increase in appetite, which could lead to weight gain. Cardiovascular effects seen are hypertension or raised blood pressure, increased risk for arrhythmias, increased risk for cardiovascular effects, and an increased autonomic arousal. Although cardiovascular effects generally aren't something you think about as a teen in high school, it is very important long term. So poor sleep now and poor sleep throughout your young college years and teen years can definitely have an impact on your cardiovascular effects later in life. There's also immune system deficits, including reduced antibody production, increase in inflammatory cytokine production, and an increase in infection susceptibility. So you're more likely to become sick and less likely to be able to fight off whatever is making you sick. All of this to say that losing sleep now will have very profound effects later on. So now let's talk about interventions or ways that we can have good sleep hygiene practices. Ways to improve sleep hygiene include maintaining a consistent sleep-wake schedule, so waking up and going to bed at the same time every single day, even if it is the weekend. Around exam season, whenever you kind of lose a little bit of sleep because you're up late studying, if you need to sleep in that next day, that's okay, but try your best to get back to a consistent sleep-wake schedule. Also, avoiding heavy meals right before bed helps with your sleep hygiene. And then habitual exercise is very, very good for your sleep quality and your sleep duration. So for your student athletes, that's very easy for you to implement, but if you're not a student athlete, that's okay. Maybe adding in a daily walk can help you implement these exercise habits. Also, keeping the room cool, dark, and quiet. Avoiding caffeine within 10 hours of sleep generally helps with your sleep hygiene, and avoiding stimulating activity before bed. Stimulating activity is just anything that gets your heart racing. So whether it be arguing with your friends or family or having heated discussions, watching scary movies, anything like that, avoid it before bed. And then establishing a bedtime routine, whether that be showering and reading a couple chapters out of your book before bed every night, just something consistent that you do before bed. That's going to help signal to your body that it's time to wind down. About napping. Adenosine is a key neurotransmitter that promotes sleep. As the brain remains active during wakefulness, adenosine levels increase, leading to the feeling of sleepiness. During sleep, adenosine levels decrease, which contributes to the reduction in sleep drive. As you can see on the top graph, that's a healthy sleep-wake schedule. There's an increase of adenosine while you're awake, which falls back off during the sleep. The second graph shows what happens when you have sleep deprivation or sleep restriction, which is that SDSR on the right-hand side. So even though you're going to sleep, you're getting poor sleep, and your adenosine levels don't fall the same way that they should. That last graph shows adenosine when you have naps. So you have sleep deprivation and sleep restriction, you take a little nap, it falls briefly, and then it goes back up when you're awake, which is a good thing. That's what we want to see. So napping can lead to improved executive functioning, better emotional regulation and processing, enhanced memory consolidation, and enhanced subsequent learning. Napping is a fundamental cornerstone for many students' lives, and while they can help with short-term fatigue, it does not compensate for sleep deprivation. Short naps, less than 30 minutes, helps improve daytime alertness, but naps longer than 30 minutes may lead to grogginess and may make it harder for you to fall asleep at night. The best way to attenuate sleep deprivation is to get sufficient sleep. Now for the conclusion. While maintaining good sleep hygiene requires a personalized approach, general practices that we've talked about, such as habitual exercise, caffeine avoidance, and a consistent sleep-wake schedule, helps improve sleep quality and duration. Thank you for tuning in. And then here are my resources. Thank you again.